start off with an interesting one today, though, because 3 weeks ago, they pulled out the race. And then the media started to build up the nonsense that Jude was coming. You know, he posted a picture with a number 7 on when they beat Man United 7-0. The Liverpool press yesterday were talking about a decision's going to be made. An approach from Liverpool is coming. And today it's reported that they have called their interest in him and are looking elsewhere. What do you make of this, Steve? Is this Liverpool saying, actually, he's not the player we want? Or have they been rejected by in terms of money, by the player? Do you think they've really walked away willingly from this?
Well, realistically, if you look at Liverpool this season, it's not an attractive proposition to someone like Jude Bellingham, who's got the pick of any club in Europe he wants to go to. I mean, why would he go there this season? You know what I mean? It doesn't look like the Liverpool of past seasons where, you could say, look, Liverpool at the minute, they're at the top table. They're looking good. Jude Bellingham adding to Liverpool might take him to the next level. But I think they fell off that far. You know, I think they're disrespecting Bellingham a little bit, thinking that, they were ever in the race for him. So what if he's a Liverpool fan? So what if his dad used to go to Anfield in the fucking 80s? It's not about that. It's about where he's going to next further his career. And I'm sorry, last season, if Liverpool was going for him, then I think they would have got him. But this season, the way City are at the minute, Real Madrid, even Chelsea are paying big money and they got the dollars. I just think Liverpool have let that boat sail. I think they've gone a season too late. I think they've let the squad slip into disarray. And I think they've only got themselves to blame. If they go out now and spend 300 million on 4 or 5 decent players and get that squad back up there, then I think it's been a good move for Liverpool. I think I actually think, I said it, they don't need Jude Bellingham right now. I think that they need a rebuild. I think the money's better spent elsewhere. And I think if they go out and do that, I think Liverpool will be back up there next season where they should be. If they go out and spend 150, 140 million on Bellingham and nobody else, then they could just be in the same situation as they are now. So Liverpool fans, I know it's all great and the fairy tale Bellingham would be great, but I'm sorry to burst your bubble. Liverpool need more than Jude Bellingham right now.
I think you're right about that 100%. On a serious note, they need 2 or 3 midfield players, and that the FSG are just not going to spend 120, 30, 40, 50 on Jude and then go and buy 2 other players to bolster that midfield. They're not going to do that. But this was always going to happen with Liverpool. And people like me have been saying it for ages. And of course, Liverpool fans get defensive and they want to say, you're only attacking us as a United fan. But your club was never going to buy a Jude Bellingham whilst needing to rebuild, as you all knew that was needed. Maybe last summer, there was a lot of talk from Liverpool fans that Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott were on the level. And maybe if they had progressed and they were now performing like world-level players, then maybe there's the only need to go out there and buy one other individual. But with Fabinho regressing and with those two looking, Harvey Elliott's more of an attacker, but they play in the midfield roles. With those guys looking distinctly average, of course they've got to rebuild. What I find hilarious is the PR. The PR of, we've called our interest. No, yesterday you made a move and you were just basically told, look, we're not accepting 100 million. It's going to be much, much more because City, Real Madrid, and maybe Man United are going to come in for him. And we all have bigger, deeper pockets than they do. But I love how they kind of spin it. And there'll be a moral stance on this. Klopp will do an interview and be like, listen, we couldn't moralistically spend 150 million pounds on a player when people can't afford to heat their houses. He will come out of a comment like that and Liverpool fans will bend over and go, oh my God, Klopp, give it to me. We love how socialistic you are. And the simple facts are your club are being brokies. They're being cheap. Who I'm laughing at today, though, Dom Hussam, who just like he hosted Spaces and said 100% guaranteed, I love how he rolls his R's, by the way, that Qatar were buying Liverpool. He guaranteed it. He also guaranteed that Liverpool was signing Jude Bellingham. Also, I've got so many messages. Every time a news article came out, Steve, linking them to them, the same guy would WhatsApp me every time saying, hey, Jude, man like Grizz Khan. every time, Sam.
Mate, Chris Khan, I'm very worried for his mental health at the minute because he's talked that much shit. Have you seen the bet I've got with Chris Khan on the Big
No,
Six about Bellingham?
no, tell me.
I told him Jude Bellingham signed for Man City beginning of the season. He said no. So we've had a bet, and I think he's got to buy me 10 Jude Bellingham kits for me to give out to City fans, kids, and shit.
That's about $1,000.
Yeah, well, he's fucked it. He's
It's about
fucked it
$1,000.
because I've let Chris Khan off with a lot of bets me over the years where he gives me the sob story, but the sob story ain't there no more. You know, he's been tweeting it, he's been pushing it, and he's full of shit, man.
But he very rarely messages me. He just always messages me, "Hey Jude, hey Jude, hey Jude." Well, again, he messages quite a lot on WhatsApp. Like, but it's "Hey Jude, hey Jude, hey Jude, hey Jude, hey Jude." He also told me another transfer story the other day. I'm not going to reveal it because he's obviously got sources, but there's a Chelsea midfield player that has reportedly agreed terms with Chelsea with Liverpool.
Yeah, he sent me the same one, Mason Mount.
He said you as well. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, Grizz. But I love it because, listen.
He said, by the way, he said Mbappe was signing for Liverpool. Remember that one? He said
yes,
that one as well.
Yeah. No,
you know, he was talking about Haaland a bit, but, you know, I soon shut him down with that one. But listen, he's in the mud right now. He's on the Big Six the other night getting a bit rattled. He's getting a bit, he's gone from the quad to the bog. At the end of the day, he's finished, man. He had
to apologize to Sav. Sav obviously did a great job on it was a great show the other night on the Big Six. I watched it. Sav, who did the same night, did the top six with us. He went at him. He then had to do a Will Smith and issue an apology. Do you know what I'm saying? He came out and issued an apology. Grizz, I hope you're well. I hope you're well, bro. I hope you're good. But no Jude. Rather than hey Jude.
I think the Liverpool fans have just got to be realistic. They've just got to be realistic. You can't paper over the problems at Liverpool. We've seen it, yeah? And you're not in the title race. You're not in the Champions League. You know, FA Cup, anything like that. It's been one of them seasons. So in Fairyland, it's great. Bellingham comes and everything's great and you sail off into the sunset and it's a great match and you're back in it. You're not. We all know that now. There's players there that shouldn't be there. There's a big job. Jurgen's got a big job. And I don't think Jurgen is not a sensible guy. I think he knows. I think he loves Liverpool and I think he knows what he needs to do. So if they've said to him, look, you've got 200 mil, you can't spend 130 of it on Jude. I'm sorry, you can't. So Mason Mount, free transfer, what they're talking about seems a little bit more realistic. You know, there's players out there, Tielemans, free transfer. You know, I think they've got to shop smart this summer. And I think any Liverpool fan, you know, you can get upset all you want. But when you actually, if you love the club, look at what they're doing and you've got to shop smart, man. Bellingham's out of the question.
Yeah, I mean, they absolutely have to be, as you say, smart. That they've just got it wrong, Liverpool. And they should have gone for Bellingham in the summer when he was slightly cheaper, or another very good midfield player in the summer. And they're linked to some really good people, the likes of Nunes. They're linked to Mateus Nunes. He looks very good. Caicedo. They've today been linked to Declan Rice.
Too much money.
But these are all bruv, these are all, but maybe barring Mateus Nunes, these are all 85 to 120 million pound players. And the fact that Liverpool and Newcastle have now joined the race for Declan Rice, if Man United's takeover goes through, and I did see a comment from a salty fan a minute ago saying, but I thought Qatar would buy Man United. They're still the favourites too. Third round of bidding will be in by the end of this month. It's always going to take many, many months to get that done. If United have new owners as well, they're in the mix, which means there's a bidding war. And if there's a bidding war between 2 or 3 clubs, Liverpool are being priced out. And this is why I've been calling for Liverpool fans. I don't care if they fail. I'm a Man United fan. But I do care how billionaire owners treat their fans. And yes, there's a lot of speculation surrounding City and how you've generated your money. The one thing you can never question City's owners about is how they treat your fans and how they treat your local community. When you look at FSG, Liverpool fans themselves have protested against multiple things they've tried to do, copyrighting the word Liverpool, increasing prices, the furloughs. The way they behave is atrocious. But the way they lie to Liverpool fans. I remember back in 2019 when they spoke about the new Nike deal and how they were going to earn a big 25% commission on every piece of Liverpool branded Nike merchandise. It was going to change the game financially for them. They expanded the stadium. It means more money, all going to be spent on players. And now whenever they have to compete for another club with a player, they essentially pull away, but they always pull that weird left-wing socialistic stance of it's irresponsible to behave like this. you're owned by billionaires who have made their money a certain way. Don't stand there and take no moral high ground. Liverpool fans have got to stand up against this because they are not going to be catching City or Arsenal. They're not going to keep up with Man United unless they go out and spend money. You know, when they came up on the Klopp, you guys were great, but all the other clubs were flagging. If Man United have new owners, the direction Arsenal are going in, Newcastle's new owners, they're just not. They'll be able to compete and they'll be in the top 4 races, but they're not going to be winning major trophies anytime soon. So yeah, big summer ahead for them because they're in huge trouble. But do you think they have to look beyond Jurgen Klopp, though? I know we spoke about this before, but they smashed Man United. Everybody thought maybe they'll turn a corner. I mean, they've been, barring that second half against Arsenal, they have been rank average since. And is that just players, or do you feel as though maybe they've had enough of playing for him?
No, I think who's out there though? You know, who's out there? If Liverpool you want to get rid of Jurgen Klopp, who's out there? No one. You look at Roy Hodgson's gone back to Palace, right? Dean Smith's gone to Leicester. From Brendan Rodgers to Dean Smith, you know. So I'm not being funny. Who's out there? Okay, Nagelsmann. All right, but that's a risk. I just think people listen. In the great world, I'd love Jurgen Klopp to fuck off because he done me head in for years, and I think he's a great manager. But that's only me being a rival. But if I'm being honest, and if I was looking from outside in, I'm thinking worst thing they can ever do, get rid of Jurgen Klopp. He gets the fans, he gets the club. And yeah, he's going through a bad patch at the minute. They're up and down. But who else would you want to rebuild your squad than Jurgen Klopp? It can't always be good. It's like City. We've had seasons where we haven't done out with Pep and people outside, oh, get rid of him now. He's finished and all that. No, he's not finished. The best managers are never finished. They just adapt and overcome and go again. And I think Jurgen will do that. But the thing is with City's board, we back him. So if he says, I want him, and him, we go and get them. With Jurgen, it's different. He's under a bit of tighter constraint. So it'd be interesting to see how he copes in the summer for me. This is a key part. I think he's got to play that transfer market so well. They cannot afford a mistake. They can't afford a 40, 50 million pound mistake. They just can't. So I'm all for Jurgen staying. I think he's good for the Premier League. He's good for Liverpool. He's a good manager. And like I say, there's no one out there to replace him.
The only one I can think of is Luis Enrique, and who's of that level and experience.
Gamble, though, isn't it? It's a gamble.
It is a gamble. You're absolutely right about that.
He's going to want ball-playing players, possession-based players to create his system. How much is that going to cost? Well, 7, 8 of them that he's got there now, I can't do that. So
yeah, you're absolutely right. No,
he tried to play Trent. Klopp tried to play Trent in the John Stones inverted fullback role the other day. Did you see it? See how much of a fucking mess that was? And all these people say, oh, yeah, Pep Guardiola, he can do anything. Well, he turned John Stones into a midfielder, and he's turned Nathan Ake into an absolute class left-back, like he turned Fabian Delph into a Centurion left-back. But anyone can do it with Doe.
There we go.